Well, hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to some more Vagrus, the Riven Realms. So we're doing something a little bit different today, not too different, but essentially being that we're into a sort of new month and we've been away from this game for a little bit, I'm basically just going to come in here with a little bit more of an intro, right? The hope is that this will serve as a pseudo reviewing process or an updated overlook. Consider it like maybe a living review. I don't really review games, I do overviews, but people might be coming in at this at a later date and they might want a more up-to-date idea of what Vagrus is and what's going on here. So essentially, this might be something I'll roll out on the channel. We're playing with some things at the moment, but we are going to continue with our current sort of playthrough for those that maybe are here because of that. But you never know, hello in the future or whatever, you might be wanting to check this game out and you want a more up-to-date take, and this is me with a few more hours under my belt, and so we can sort of go through that. So yeah, essentially Vagrus, let's break it down real quickly. Vagrus is a sort of CRPG in a fashion, trading narrative post-apocalyptic game, right? It is set in this sort of world that has quite a rich history. It has a Roman legionnaire sort of thing going on, but it's very Mad Max, right? It's very much a rolling desert, lots of horrible things out there. The big emphasis on the idea of trade caravans or transport or whatever, essentially moving things, people, objectives from point A to point B is a big deal. You're just going to take the music off me like that game. Is that, you're going to do me that dirty, are you? That's all right. You can just listen to my dulcet tones. So essentially, we've been playing through this a little bit, and we looked at it in the early access build. It's a wonderful game. It's fantastic. It is a slow burn. You may want to jump in and just enjoy the playthrough with the rest of the people that have been here, because I sort of read through all the text and take time. So if you're not big on text-heavy stuff, straight away you might have a hard time with this. The other thing is the combat is maybe the weakest part of the game, and it is serviceable, it's necessary, it's high risk and threat, and this is kind of roguelike permanent runs, albeit over a longer scope. So if you do fuck up, you die, you will wipe. Fortunately, that hasn't happened to us yet. But the big focus is on trade. Okay, so let's bring up some more aids. Let me give you an idea. Well, let's get an idea of the open world here. This is the map that we can't move around because it's kind of contingent on exploration. There's a huge part of not understanding the world, right? So you can see here, we've got like 2 movement points to move from there. We're at this place, Vagrus Tower, but you can get a rough idea of our movement range, but beyond there, you're kind of blind. You can bring up the world map, but for the most part, other than like known locations, you know, I guess everyone knows where Dargrath is in this world, but we've only really been hanging around here. This way station, we went down to the Twin Towers. Apparently there's something spooky going on down there, so the military has locked that off. We've done some runs up here to Torzag. We went cross country up to Arcane through here, and we had to fight, and we lost a few dudes, but it was all good. It's all been pretty good. Come back down, and now we've head out over here because we're essentially wanting to check out this area, right? That's what this is. This is mission-related stuff. So you can see this is sort of one-to-one with what we can see in the normal grounded map about this circle, but then you come out here and this is the game world. So big difference, big difference. What else is there? Now, trade is everything in this game, and you have a pretty robust like interface that while, you know, time goes by and the trade markets fluctuate, you can keep track of your ups and downs and your sort of profit loss potential, and so you can trade certain items back and forth. Now, some people are going to froth this. I do. I love this sort of crap. Some people, thank you, no thank you, not even remotely interested. But a big part of this is trying to buy low, sell high, figure out rumors. You know, we found that there was sort of like stone being made. Where were we? In this sort of Arcane area, and we were bringing like bloody marble blocks down to here because we could turn a profit. So yeah, there's that. Also, when you're inside a town, there's sort of local missions. This is your caravan. Now again, like I said, we'll just go over this as a bit of an update, and then people let me know what you reckon. Maybe you are new and this is the first time you're seeing it. I'll title as such, and beyond this, we'll just continue along with the playthrough if there's more interest. But I kind of like the idea of platforming games regularly, especially ones that we like and we keep coming back to, right? this is sort of, we've got slaves, we've got workers, we've got scouts, all sorts of stuff as well, you know, beasts of burden. We can go in and have a look at our cargo. At the moment, you can see we're carrying blocks of obsidian and also some mushroom beer. Our supplies aren't super great, actually. We've got some equipment there on our beasts of burden. Companions, we don't really have that, but that's sort of like an RPG component to the game, but that's not something we've encountered really yet. So there's all these mechanics that just haven't really come up. But ultimately, as I understand it, we're trying to get up to here. I can't remember the name of it. If we bring up our logbook, news, can't bring it up specifically. It's okay, but we'll just continue up along this sort of road there as well. You forage along the way, you know, we've got standing streak, we've got 3 days of food. You've got an idea of, you know, the people. 9s are good. It's pretty much out of 10 from what I gather. So our caravan's in pretty good stead at the moment, and we stopped at this Vigilus Tower. However, there's not really much going on here, if I recall. And you can stop here and there's some flavor text and some nice pretty art. And see, you could trade here potentially, but not here. Not really, right? And we had a chat with the garrison. They told me to fuck off, which, you know, fair enough. Can't really hold that against them. So we got to think about this. Where are we going to plan to go into this? So back onto the playthrough. If you have any questions, chuck some comments down and that sort of stuff. But I thought, let's just do a bit of a bring people up to speed, a bit more of an overview. There's been some hot patches and some light content updates as well, but nothing too spectacular recently, other than the launch, obviously. But on the back of that, it's been pretty quiet. Yeah. Anyway, that's where we're at, basically. So, as I can tell, here's our road up here, and we want to go up there, up to the right. So that's where we want to go there. Now, we are in a bit of a pickle here, right? Because we don't have a lot of food. Now, foraging along the road, I've been told by some helpful members of the chat or community, whatever you'd like to call it, it's not a live stream, have said that trying to forage for food in country is a bit easier. So that we might do that. We've never really tried that, but we are kind of a little bit fucked here. I was sort of hoping something would happen here. This quarry might have something promising going on, but who knows? Anyway, so we're going to double back out of here because it looks like it's a dead end. We've only got one move point. Now, you can push into the march. It's a terrible idea. It drains and essentially damages your max stats. So what we're going to do is just camp. You do a lot of time camping and managing this. Okay. I'm happy to just pay now. People pointed out you can lock settings, and we'll lock that as well because we're actually handling our money fairly well. You can think about hunting and foraging, and that usually will cost you 2 movement or vigor, right? So you can see our vigor is at 9. If we do that, look, 0 chance. Is that what you're telling me? Well, we're not even going to bother with that. 43, 34. 0 to 76. Is that the amount of food or the chance? I could have sworn it was like that. Looks like it's saying food, but I thought that was the chance, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Oh no, it actually is the chance. So there's a 60%. It's more than likely it's not going to go well for us. Interesting. Disable hunting and foraging results. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to take the energy hit because we're sort of hard up for food. We are well fed, and we can reduce that down, but that's not going to go well. Sustained, but, you know, I'm kind of concerned. I'm kind of worried here. Now, also here, obedience, morale, lower chance of ambush. We can post guards. You would have seen systems like this in this War of Mine is what it comes to mind. So there you go. You can charge your vigor up by being lax, but it's going to take its hit on morale and obedience. You can go here, no plus, no minus. And then you can go here, actually, you can get even more obedience and all that sort of stuff. But you have to have the amount of guards to handle a guard system. So if you actually, one thing that we've run into is I'll take on like, we'll transport a bunch of priests or something, you know, 6 dudes. But now I don't really have enough guards for that coverage. So you sort of want to have a float. You want to have a little bit of massage room for covering the whole camp because this is the ideal slot, but it is limited by your guards, which then in turn would be limited by how much you're willing to spend on income. All right. So anyway, that's how we're going to do that. Fail. We got literally 1 food. At least no one got hurt, so that's good. So we've got 2 days of food, and we want to go up that way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the advice of last time. I'm going to go cross country. Now, 6, 4, 10, I can't make it that far anyway. And people have also suggested maybe just sitting still for a turn. Lumen, that's where we're going. So we may even, I'll take those 3 movement points, right? We'll use that to forage, hopefully, well. Let's see. 60, that still doesn't seem great. I need to investigate. Send out work. They can return supplies. Results depend on the foraging roll. No, I get that. But I wonder if I can sway those ranges at all, or if they're set. Because before, this wasn't the case. That was at 100% chance to fail, right? So there's something going on here. -2 move. It doesn't seem to be affecting my vigor though. That's cool. The -2 move's covering it anyway. Well, we'll send everyone out basically. We've locked at pain out, devoted, sustained at 100%. We'll just hold that. Well, no, I really don't want to go lower than that. Max morale, max vigor. Okay, let's just go with that. Let's see how this turns out. That's not bad. That's a bit of food. That's a bit of food. Look at that. We've gone up to 3 days. Anyway, so as I said, we're just gonna sit tight and see if that makes a difference. 48, 5. Doesn't seem to make a huge difference, does it really? -2 move. Maybe for healing. We still use 3x food per day. Those percentages haven't changed at all, so I don't think sitting still really makes any difference at all. Now you can scout. Now that's something I haven't really played with much. I don't know how that works. Well, look, we're probably going to go 5 or 1, so... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, what is this? Movement points. Scouting movement point cost equals the highest movement point cost direction. Oh. So that's going to cost 4. And what's resourcefulness? Each additional direction after the first costs resourcefulness. Boosting the chance also... Oh, okay. And that's this down here. That's this purple currency, which we don't really use for anything, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know if it recharges. Resourcefulness 3. Okay, well... Movement points 1. 5 costs us a movement point. Equals scouting movement point cost equals the highest movement point cost direction. Well, it says 1. Oh, here we go. Available scouts. Oh, no. Maybe not. All right, well, look, that's saying 1. We could boost with resourcefulness, which I'm not going to do. We do have our 9 points. Let's see. Send scouts. There you go. It cost me 1 there. Okay, no losses. Chance of an event occurring at this node is 0. Okay. Base hunting chance of this node is between... That I like. Base foraging. Right, so you got hunting and foraging are the 2 different ones. 16 and 5, right? Okay. Am I able to just scout again? Bugger it. Cool, all right, it holds those statistics. But at this point, if I want to Is it? Oh no, hang on. Oh, I'm not allowed to scout. Resend. Hope for a better result. Ah, I like this. Okay. That's cool. Right. Well, let's move to there, shall we? And so 6 is where we failed before, right? 7, 1. Now, let's track out. We've got 3 resourcefulness. Oh, I've got level up points. We might have to put them in at some point. 2, and we'll send to 6 again. So that's all my scouts, and that's going to cost me 2 resourcefulness, right? Send scouts. All right, look at that. See, now, what's this big double arrows there? 10%, 4%. I wonder why that's given me double arrows. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here differently. Base foraging is 10%. Oh, okay, right. So it's actually the most reliable. It's a reliable result. So these are good results, but that's like a Chad result. It doesn't change the fact that we could probably have better foraging results elsewhere. 20%, 5%. These sort of averages. And that's like 10 and 14-ish. Right, so 2's probably like the best destination, which was this way. And that's going to cost me 3 move. And, oh, there we go. Perfect. So let's go there. Geez, we're going deep into the unknown. Right. Pay now. Sustained. Invigorated. Let's get scouting, boys. Pay the 2 move. All right. End day. Not the best. Not the best result. We're still sustaining. Okay, this is a cool way to do it. This is all very new to me, this scouting. Now what were we? We're on like 20 and 5 or something. I got to try and remember these things. Can I just manually click them? I can't, no. Oh, and resourcefulness. Oh, there you go. My resourcefulness recharges at camp. That's so good. Okay. Right, so we need to get ourselves more scouts. And then we could stack the resourcefulness because we've got a spare point, right? So let's stack it on 5. Well, actually, they've all got pretty much the same rates, don't they? Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. I stacked 5 and I still shanked it, right? 1 probably looks the most promising. Yeah, let's go to 1. Now we'd want to keep 2 movement points, 3 scouting costs 1 potentially, right? Yeah, so we'll camp here. Sustain, pay now. Forage. Oh, it's not good at all. Well, we do need to make for Lumen, so I'm going to go this way no matter what. We could probably afford to scout here. 5 and 6 for sure. 1 movement point, 3 to move. Okay, that's perfect. We'll stack both of them and we'll just scout. All right, okay. 14, 8. Base foraging chance is higher there over the hunting. It's a good question. Do I favour foraging or like, because one's scouts and one's, you know, obviously the more manpower. 22%. I mean, maybe we just go to 6, shall we? Let's go to 6. Move. 3 movement. 2 left. Camp. 2 days. Oh, no. Let's roll for it. Let's go. Go big. That's good. That's great. Big success. Yeah, so if I were to press camp, I'm not going to camp, but like 0 to 115, 0 to 77. So I think foraging might be safer, but you can get more food from hunting. Yeah. 2 days left, and we're near Lumen. Let's see. 3, 6... Probably want to press the 4s there. 4, 4, 4. If we can get around the 4s, it'd be ideal. Let's go here. Move. I can afford 1 in scouting and still move, I think. So we'll go 5. We'll go 6. I mean, bugger it. We can go 4 with the resourcefulness, but we'll stack 5 and 6. Right. Send scouts. Oh shit, my scout died. Rough. All right, let's not go there. Holy hell. What's going on here? 14 and 8. Right, so 6 looks promising. 6 is probably the best we can do. So we'll move there. We'll have 2 move left. Look at that, making a lot less food. Oh, well, is that because my scout or is that because of the location? It's hard to say. All right, so that's failed. We got a little bit of food. We've got like 1 day of food. We can make it to Lumen exactly, actually. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's do that. Goodness me. Goodness me. Doesn't get much closer than that. We'd survive without food for a bit, I think, but not for long. And then getting the rest of the stats back up would have been a task. So thank goodness we got here. This is cool. This is new. We haven't been here before. Lumen Town. Those persistent enough to travel toward the blinding light and scorching heat of the South Calaris eventually reach the town of Lumen and glimpse its sandstone buildings protected by its shielding wall. Yet most of the settlement was built under the sands, sheltered from the lethal temperatures and unbearable shine of the surface. At night, brigades of prospectors flood the still searing crystal forests to get their hands on as rich a bounty as they can, hauling it back to Lumen's bustling underground markets. Apart from imperial crystal harvesting, the town is famous for its resident crystal mancers, ever delving into the secrets of the Calaris. So look at it, that's crazy, eh? And then you've got the little city built up around here, cool. General questions, the Blind Jacra, the busiest tavern in town. That sounds cool. Well, actually, let's just deal with what we got to deal with first, right? Which did we actually? I don't think we took it. Oh, here we go. We did. We were distributing the obsidian on behalf of a faction quest. So we're going to turn that in, and we're doing a supply run for the Loaders Guild. And that's what the mushroom beer was. So we'll turn that in. We've got our payment. Wonderful. Okay, so that was the 2 quests. But I think as far as our own cargo, we didn't really bring anything sexy. Cool. Let's go to the pub, basically. The establishment at the heart of Lumen is swarming with people from all corners of the Empire and beyond during most hours of the day. Vagri, mercenaries, labourers, prospectors, and all kinds of travellers gather here to share stories and let off some steam after a long day. Let off some steam after a long day. Shafts of light penetrate the twilight through holes bored into the ceiling of the underground common room. The smell of cheap booze and sweet tobacco fills the air. There is also the constant low murmur of gossiping people. All right, so we can drink and chat, share news, look for potential recruits, or leave. No, let's have a chat. Let's have a chat. One can learn quite a lot of interesting tidbits, tips, or hear news of faraway lands. You fall into conversation with a group of spice merchants who tell you about a friend of theirs in Torzag's shelter who has run afoul of some con man lately. I'm telling you, they should not have let their wives and daughters talk them into giving money to that grifter. The one with the largest belly confides, but who would they believe? But would they believe me? Of course not. Now I hear the law won't budge and they're willing to hire bounty hunters to get back what's theirs, or at least get even. We might leave that, right? We're not really in bloody bounty hunter territory just yet. We're more, I'm comfortable being a trade man, so we will, we'll politely finish our beer and move along, I reckon. You find some familiar faces and old acquaintances, as well as a lot of new people to talk to. There are as many interesting discussions as dull or annoying ones. You could also pay for some drinks, as that usually loosens tongues and opens minds. Buy some rounds, buy a round of quality booze, you deserve it, buy a glass of the house's specialty. You know what, we do deserve it. Actually, what is this? Available daily. Yeah, let's go. Sitting at the bar, sipping your drink, you contemplate life's most intriguing mysteries. Calm and refresh, you get back to business. +3 resourcefulness. Oh, lucky me. Cool. Drink, chat, and talk to other travellers. I'll buy some rounds. Well, let's see what's going on. Plus news from Sadara. It works, of course, it always works. You hear some news you could pass on later. Discuss economics and philosophy, as well as down a couple of drinks. It was well worth the expenses. I guess we could look for recruits, right? Let's see what's going on there. You ask around and learn from the barman that one of their bouncers, a fellow named Harvick, is leaving the Blind Jacra. He might be interested in joining your comitatus. You get the impression that the staff is looking forward to being rid of him as fast as possible. Oh, sounds like my kind of reject. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I like him already. You find Harvick sitting at a table near the wall of the common room. Nothing about him or his disposition gives you the impression that he works here. Empty mugs are strewn across his table, and he is playing with a nasty knife as you approach him. What do you want? He rasps without looking up. Before you is a large man, completely bald. Yet the first thing everyone notices about Harvick is his scythe-like right arm, compound eyes, and other insectoid features. Clearly the results of the taint. You tell him that word is he might be interested in working and talk about your venture briefly. Harvick's face remains blank, but he looks up and listens intently. When you are done, he motions to the chair across from him. You've piqued my interest. I'll give you that. Probably. He is cut off abruptly by the arrival of two burly men with malevolent gazes. This does not look good. Get up, fucker! One of the men spits, seething with anger. Harvick does not move. It is hard to make heads or tails of his expression because of the inhuman compound eyes. Think we're afraid of you because you were in the slammer? I said get the man. The man cannot finish because the bouncer lunges forward with lightning speed, slashing him across the chest with his mantis arm. Oh, it's a good way to solve conversations. The other fellow strikes him on the head with a powerful fist in retaliation, and in seconds, a terrible brawl is underway. Another man wielding a knife soon joins the fray against the tainted bouncer, while the rest of the tavern's staff seems disinclined to get involved. Help Harvick, very low chance of success. Dexterous, tough, mighty. I mean, I could increase it with resourcefulness. What happens if I do that? Low or very low? Oh, I'd really like to help him. What's the worst that could happen? Can I die here? Maybe. I would really like to help Harvick. Sit and wait and see what happens. No, we're not. We'll wait and see what happens. You lean back, motionless, and watch as the bouncer carves up his assailants with vicious precision. There are moments when you think he will go down from brutally powerful punches, but he always rebounds, retaliating with amazing ferocity. He does not kill his opponents, but maims them badly. In a minute or two, he stands over his beaten foes, bloodied and grinning. He leans closer to the first attacker, the burly man, who is bleeding profusely. Your carpenter buddies put up a much better fight. With a ferocious kick to the head, Harvick knocks out the fellow before he could speak. You look around the common room and the contempt toward the bouncer is almost palpable. We better leave, boss. These cravens won't do anything, but I don't want them to be around when we talk, he rasps to you as he downs the rest of his drink and indicates the exit with a nod. You follow Harvick outside and lead him to a small cafe laid out under colourful awnings at the side of the Mancio. And the bouncer buys you a round of Tarkian coffee. The coffee is warm and delicious. You lean back on the large pillows and face Harvick, who has finished his drink and is grinning at you. Sorry for the little scene back there, Vagrus, but that's done now, and I was beginning to get interested in your little presentation before those losers cut you off. I suppose an offer was about to follow, or perhaps you wanted to ask some questions, to judge old Harvick if he's capable, if he can be trusted. I like this dude, he's a straight shooter. I don't care about his past or anything like that, and I saw him bash him. Ask him about the brawl, ask why he wants to be on the road. I don't want to ask any of that. I want to recruit him right now. Ask him why he wants to be on the road. You mean apart from being tired of sitting on my ass and becoming unwanted here? Harvick chuckles. All right, might as well be honest about it. Good. So the thing is, this recent encounter opened my eyes to the fact that those who got me into that damn prison are still out and about pulling strings. I might as well visit them and get some kind of payback. These people are all around the realms. I would not go out of my way to pay them a visit, but if I find one of them, I'll let you know, and we can talk about possibilities. There might be other things you wanted to talk about. Not really. That is all. Time to decide if you want to hire him. Yes. So, will you have me in your comitatus? Havoc's lips twisted into a crooked smile. 100%. No questions asked. Plus 20 to the Loaders Guild. Harvick rises from his pillow and shakes your hand. You won't regret it, you'll see. I'll get me gear quick as a snake, he says. And I'll meet you in the Mancio here in a moment. As far as I'm concerned, we can get on the road right away, boss. You return to the Mancio. Okay, cool. So like I said, almost half, review in progress, fresh take, half sort of intermission. It's good to be playing this again, and if there is still interest, we will continue the playthrough. But I'm curious what people think about that, because it helps. I think it helps the community and it helps my channel. There's no doubt about it. If I take the time to potentially pause mid playthrough, if we continue this sort of living playthrough review, whatever, once we tick over a month or something like that, so we can stop and sort of just recount, a previously on, and perhaps even a bit more of an overview to those maybe just discovering the game now. It's a little bit more in date than previous stuff anyway. Just something I'm toying with. Like I said, if it's well received and you guys enjoyed this, well, we'll just kick on and do some more episodes as per the norm. Anyway, team, thanks again for joining me. Might just leave it there for the time being. I'll catch you guys on the next one.